You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. We're in a new energy age and things are changing. We have talked a lot about the Age of Aquarius and the changes that are likely to happen to everything as a result. That's really interesting. However, what is personal evolution and how does that contrast with these global changes that are happening? Can't we just wait for change to happen around us? Well, that is a question for today. Also, today is the day of the solar eclipse. In fact, while we're speaking right now, it's actually happening. And we're going to talk about that.
Actually, it was till 12:30 here in California. So
I apologize. I missed it.
But your hair is still frizzy. So
stay tuned. This show could change the way you think about how my hair looks and how changes happen and how to get them to happen for you. We are married intuitives with over 25 years of experience who created the Ecosystem Approach. This is a groundbreaking way to see yourself in the Age of Aquarius. We help you unleash healing and potential that is unknown today and is totally unique to you personally. This is not your typical type of energy work. We help you with life-changing internal discovery that is powerful, rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. Jason, let's talk about the solar eclipse, which we sort of started to do, and then the energy changes coming with the Age of Aquarius.
Okay, first the eclipse.
Okay.
First of all, I here in California where we are, it went from 10:30 to 12:30.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I've been busy. Yeah.
The energy effects happen days before and days after.
Correct.
And that's what we want to talk about. I did read an article in the New York Times, no mention of subtle energy. They said, there's all this buzz around the eclipse, and people are drawn to it. But no one thinks, well, why? They're treating it like a Beyonce event or something. Everybody wants to go see Beyonce or
kind of thing.
Who's the other one?
He's dating himself. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. But we see it as an energy, and it's exciting as an energy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I agree.
And when you put those two bodies together, even though the sun is so much bigger than the moon,
correct.
The effect that it has on us in terms of our subtle energy is magnified considerably. So astrology understands eclipses, and this one is in the sign of Aries.
Okay.
The way we work, the way we see it, and we're interpreting astrology. We're not astrologers, but we have a special insight into astrology because because of our what we call refined intuition.
Correct.
We look at and can see the effects of these subtle energies, and sometimes I think we have a better interpretation in terms of astrology than astrologers, but that's another topic.
Okay.
This is what we suggest for people in terms of the eclipse.
Okay.
See how it affects you. Observe.
Yes.
Trying to predict it makes you crazy.
Well, and first off, that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
But what Jason's talking about is, how are you feeling in the moment? How are you feeling? How did you feel yesterday? How do you feel today? And I'm not saying predict, but then how do you feel tomorrow? To see, are your feelings a little more intense? Are they a little more subtle? Are they loud?
Did you get depressed all of a sudden?
Exactly. It's exactly what
if it's negative,
yes,
clear it.
Yes.
If it's positive, use it.
Exactly. And look for how, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, but look for how you can use the positive that you could be feeling or connecting with for your benefit and the people around you, of course.
A listener reached out to me and asked if the eclipse somehow empowers the moon. And by the way, That's a perfect example of refined intuition.
In fact, I want to say the same. Thank you
You
for
know,
that question. Truly.
I haven't seen that written from astrologers, but what it's absolutely right.
Correct.
She could see by having those things line up, oh, there's got to be, she's Cancer, so she understands
The
the moon,
emotions of the
the
moon.
moon,
That's
yes.
correct.
And she was absolutely right. Yes, it does.
Yes.
But it's up for her to interpret it for her particular, because if you understand astrology, your natal chart is highly unique and has so many different
To
combinations.
you individually.
Yes. So when you try and predict something,
Well,
it's hard.
go
And
ahead.
I think a lot of times astrology is discredited when they try and predict,
Yes.
because they use it as a predictive tool, because there's so many different variations about
Correct.
energy.
Well, and I just want to point out something. Um, Twins born basically at the same time, within, I would say a minute of each other. We see, yes, so many similarities, as everyone does,
Yeah.
and looks and so forth, mirror twins especially. But we also see the subtle differences
Yes.
in each one of them. And
Yes.
it's really amazing to stand back and observe. And we do have a set of twins that we work with. And I can't wait to actually talk to them about how each one of them have felt about the eclipse.
The same and the
And the
differences. Yeah,
differences. That's
exactly.
exactly right. Yes. Yes.
So that's enough about the eclipse. We're probably gonna run over and do some of this segment in the next segment.
Okay, sounds good.
But
Yeah.
the Age of Aquarius, I've talked about it before.
Yes.
Let's talk about what it is. It's an energy age defined in astrology.
That's correct.
What it means is that the energy around us that has affected our beliefs and our approaches and our view of the world
Correct.
is changing.
Yes.
And most of us, if you're listening right now to this program, it doesn't apply to you. I suspect people that are attracted to this program are
Yes.
far more conscious and far more evolved.
And welcome for that.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. But for those, the most of the people around us, they're unconscious. They live their life in an unconscious way. They go from birth to death in an unconscious way,
And I'm sorry if
and they have these beliefs that come up and that are never really questioned, but they were trained in these beliefs, whether from a church, whether it's from their school, their parents,
that's correct. Their community.
Just
Yes.
people around them, and they never ever say, "Well, is that really true? Is that
Yeah. Yes.
So let's talk about the Age of Aquarius a little bit.
Okay.
It brings a forward momentum. Some people say higher vibrations, more accomplishments. That's kind of interesting.
Yes.
It creates innovation,
Yes.
which could be technological, but also innovation in terms of love, in terms of relationships, which we see today.
Yes, we do.
And thinking.
Yeah.
How to approach a project, how to look at the world. Things are changing.
A lot.
And this is a hard word for both of us to say democratization,
Very well.
which is power available to everyone, power available to more people. It's more with democratization, there's a belief that everyone should have a little power, that everyone should have a say.
Yes.
And then empowerment of the individual. This is to say, who are you uniquely,
Yes.
and bring that out in the world.
Yes.
Right now, it's sort of
who am I and what do I have to offer?
Exactly.
Okay.
We're trained more to be vanilla, not tutti frutti.
Yeah.
And so it's time for the people that are the vanillas of the world to have some
more pizzazz.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And then here's the last one. It's essence centered. In other words, your soul, it centers on your soul. So when you're more authentic, you're coming from an empowered place, which is the most empowered place is your soul.
Yes.
And that's heart centered, more intuitive, using intuition as a normal part of life.
Yeah. And that's one of the things we found by using the ecosystem approach.
Exactly.
It's been really, really interesting. We're going to talk more about that. Jason, talk to me about, and the audience about, we need to wake up. What does that mean?
we've heard this so many times. We just started going through and reading the Celestine Prophecy again.
That's correct.
It seems so much different to us now. It was
Yeah.
written originally in 1993. We both read it before we met, and we're reading it now. There's so much stuff to take away from that.
Yes.
But in there, they talk about there's a change happening. It's time to wake up.
Yes.
We need to accept a different view. We need to allow a higher vibration. And so, what is that? And our point today in the show is that it doesn't just happen. You don't just, these changes happen around you, yes, but whether you embrace it or not is a huge difference.
Right.
And people don't wake up. They don't just accept a higher state of consciousness. It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
And I'll tell you why I think that probably in the next, yeah, it is in the next segment.
Okay.
So, one of the things about the ecosystem approach, one of the things we do is we're very specific about targeting negative energies.
Correct.
And here's the cliff notes. The
Okay.
reason we just don't wake up, the reason we just don't operate at a higher vibration,
You got it,
is negative energy that's attached to us.
Right.
Because we can't just tell ourselves, I'm going to be lift at a higher vibration, and the negative energy attached to it just laughs. So yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly.
And what happens is, and we see this, most people just delude themselves
into believing
into the belief that they're operating at a higher vibration. So they act like it as opposed to actually embrace it.
Exactly. So I know we got to most everything, but Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
The eclipse is an energy that can affect individuals in unique ways depending on their evolution and natal chart. Even with the same chart, it could affect individuals uniquely. It can add clarity, it can rejuvenate, it can be disruptive, it can be empowering, and all of those things at the same time. Observe what it does for you. The age of Aquarius is an energy age that creates forward momentum, innovation, democratization, and empowerment of the individual, and is essence centered or soul centered. Many have suggested that you can just wake up or allow a higher vibration, but that's not what we see. There is still negative energy attached to you that interferes with this concept of waking up. The negative energy must be removed, changed, or neutralized.
In the next segment, we're going to talk about the idea of waking up or allowing a higher vibration. Does this really happen? Is there an illusion present? This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about the idea of waking up or allowing a higher vibration. Does this really happen? Is there an illusion present? All right, Jason, this is actually very confusing. What exactly is a higher vibration for a human being?
I don't know, but you know it when you have it. But here's the thing, okay? People who supposedly function at a higher vibration are more evolved with more abilities. They have greater intuition, perception, empathy, and a greater consciousness.
Okay.
Now, we know, because we can see this in hindsight by looking backwards.
Yes.
When I met you, you had intuition, and you were just making yourself look bad all the time by telling people, I see this and I see that, and no one believed her, and
and
it just
that kind of thing.
Yeah. And in hindsight, I know you can see that after we use the ecosystem approach, which is basically removing the negative energy attached to us.
That's correct.
Your intuition that was native, that was unique to you, that was organic to you.
There you go.
Exploded.
It did.
Now, I went to a clairvoyant, and she told me that my intuition was exploding, and nothing else she told me was really very helpful. But I took that, and it wasn't that I developed it. It was already there. I just trusted it more.
Yes.
And I started using it. And I used the ecosystem approach, we both did,
Yes.
to refine and what we call have refined intuition. That's how we develop it. It's a byproduct of removing the negative energy
Right
attached
there.
to your essence.
Right there.
It's not something you have to train for.
No.
I've seen so many, and
Me too.
I throw up a little bit in my mouth. I have to be, it's the eclipse that's making me say these things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it just, when people say, I'm going to, here, let's take an intuitive class or a class on developing your intuition. Because what it does, it just focuses more on that sense. Just like if you wore a blindfold for a week, it would focus you on your other senses.
That's correct.
It doesn't develop them. And we see how your intuition works because we have intuition. And the more intuition is developed, not by training for it,
right,
but by removing the negative energy, we see more and more that those other things are just give you an illusion of intuition, not real intuition.
That is correct.
So let's talk more about having, how you can have these greater abilities and perceptions and really increase your vibration as a human being.
Okay.
The Celestine Prophecy, which frankly, we love that book.
There's a lot of great things in it.
We have great respect for James Redfield, who was the author of the Celestine Prophecy, but he talked about the insights, and he wrote of other books about the insights. And here's the third insight, and I want to just kind of break it down, and so we can look at it just for a minute.
Okay.
He said, and I'm quoting him. We integrate the third insight when we realize the universe is not dead in an uncaring place. How do you realize something? That's the key. So I'll say it again. We integrate the third insight when we realize the universe is not dead in an uncaring place.
That's right.
A lot of people know that intellectually, but there's a difference between knowing it intellectually and having it come from that internal place, which we say is your essence, your soul.
And having an understanding of even how it works.
Yes, because it's innate. When
right.
you know it from your soul, you just know.
Yes.
You don't have to be trained.
No.
You just know.
Yes.
So that's the first sentence. He said, it is an energetically connected environment that is spiritually constructed to bring our greatest dreams into fruition. Okay, that's an interesting concept.
I like that.
We've been hearing that for all.
Yes.
All we have to do, here it is align ourselves, and the key word is align, with the universe ruling principle of giving. How do you align yourself with giving? Well, we found that happens naturally as you remove the negative energy, because when you put your essence in charge, the giving comes naturally in a way that's unique to you.
Exactly. And the other part of that is there's another piece of when you're doing giving, the giving that you give to someone, is that what they need? Or is that you just trying to be a good guy?
Yes.
And the bottom line is that when you have a higher frequency of evolution, then you really understand what someone needs uniquely to them.
That's a really good point. And that's the big difference between faking it and having it authentically present.
Yes.
We could do the same for programming approach to the ecosystem, to the Age of Aquarius.
That's correct.
So okay, we're going to operate at a higher frequency because they say with the Age of Aquarius, and I think there's some truth to this. We just had we just have 2 new grandkids, so we're looking at them. But the people that are on Earth already don't have this higher vibration, but the people coming in have it.
Have more abilities to have it.
And I'm not sure that's 100% true. And I know it's not 100% true.
That's right.
But I think it's possible in some instances.
Yes.
I know because I can look back where we sit today in 2024 when we started and know that we're both operating at a much higher frequency than we did before.
That's correct.
We wouldn't have been able to see it
before
before.
with the clarity that we see now.
Right, because we had way more negative energy attached to us, and that negative energy was disruptive. So how does that work exactly? Well, let me explain.
Okay.
Last show that we did, no, it was 2 shows ago, we offered a metaphor for your soul. So imagine your soul is an energy. Okay, it is.
Which it is.
It is. Your soul or essence, we use the word essence. But to describe it, we're going to use a metaphor.
Okay.
And imagine this energy is your headquarters, because that's what your essence is. It's what's in charge of you,
That's
your
correct.
DNA,
Okay.
your personality,
Okay.
your abilities. All those things come from your essence. Well, what
By
we
the way,
see,
we've been trained until now that what you just said isn't true at all.
yes, we have. We say there's no such thing as your soul or essence. We've been trained to believe that that we just work in the physical world, and that's all there is.
And that's all there is. That's right. Which, by the way, it's not true, everyone.
Yeah, because we know it, we feel it. Seeing is believing.
Yes, exactly.
But okay. So the metaphor, the headquarters. So imagine your headquarters is a 10-story building, and those pieces of your essence, which is one big thing, let's break them down into bits of life force.
Okay.
And each bit of life force, I'm just going to arbitrarily say, is 100 bits.
Okay.
Makes up the whole.
That's correct.
100 bits make up the whole. And for this metaphor, each bit corresponds to what we see on Earth, and the earthly plane, as an employee of your headquarters.
Okay.
What we see, and this is a big deal, and we've been saying this for a long time, but we've never really been able to describe it before, that 80 of those 100 employees of your headquarters are encumbered with dark energy. What does that mean?
Or negative energy.
Negative energy. They are lazy. They're consciously working against you. They are they have a whole nother agenda that has nothing to do with who you are and your purpose.
That's correct.
They are there specifically just to cause problems, to make things difficult.
Well, and to make your life difficult so you cannot go forward. And I'm going to just add it right to the Age of Aquarius right now, when we're in, all of us are in need of going forward
at a higher vibration,
very much higher. And those 80 employees are working against you to the point of where when you try and make some sort of physical movement, you feel like you've been tripped or pushed. That's one. I'm just giving examples.
Think of all the decisions you've made in your life that you thought, oh my God, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? What was I doing?
Wait, okay.
I saw all those things, but I didn't know what to do with them. And
so I ignored them.
Yeah.
Or I didn't see the value or be it good, be it bad, of those 80 employees.
So imagine your senses bring in input.
Yes.
And they filter through these 80 bad employees. Yes. By the time they get to the time where it's actionable or your conscious.
There you go. Well said.
It's been so distorted, so screwed up, so
it makes you wonder, is this what I'm really supposed to do? Or is this who I really am? Or am I supposed to think this way? Am I supposed to know this? Or how come I don't know this? Those kind of things.
We talked about the world is an illusion, and that you create the life that you want.
That's right.
Well, that's true. The problem is that you don't account for those 80 bad employees.
Yeah, and so
what you're creating is what they want, right, not what you want.
Correct.
The other 20.
Yes.
So.
And I just want to say, for all of you out there that have ever turned around to a partner and said, "Does my backside look big in these pants?" That's one of your 80 employees just messing with you. Okay, you get to judge that. Don't give that power up to somebody else.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was just a great example and kind of flew out.
Well, so, I've been asked that way too many times in my life.
I've never asked him that. So, Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
Most of us believe in programming as a way to change human behavior and grow and develop.
Yes.
Even those who seek to help others evolve or live at a higher frequency use programming methods to help them achieve that objective.
Correct.
We see that by using our refined intuition, the way to authentically evolve is to remove the negative energy from your essence, or using our metaphor, reconfigure those 80 employees.
Okay.
The negative energy is represented by employees in your headquarters, essence, who are actively or indirectly working against that evolution that you seek.
Right.
No matter how much you program yourself, those bad employees still exist and will continue to work against your evolution.
Mm.
The only way you can evolve or operate at a higher vibration is to remove the source of the problem, which is the negative energy attached to you.
And how you do that is by using the ecosystem approach.
Because we designed this to work in the age of Aquarius.
Exactly. In the next segment, we're going to talk about how to make this new energy age, the age of Aquarius, work the best way for your life, in your life. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about how to make this new energy age, the age of Aquarius, work the best way in your life. Okay, Jason, how to make this new energy age work for you in the best way?
Well, first, you can't pretend or force or program yourself to live at a higher vibration.
Okay.
It doesn't work that way.
There's no formula for it.
There's no real formula for it.
Okay.
The truth is, it's a reflection of the health, let me put it that way, of your essence.
That's a really good way to say it. Yeah.
So if you have 80 employees, it goes back to the metaphor of the headquarters. If you have 100 employees for your headquarters, your essence, and 80 of them are working against you, you know, you can act like you can say all the right words, you can go and all that stuff, but you're not going to live at a higher vibration. It's going to be phony. It's going to be fake.
And by the way, that's a waste of time, everyone.
And by the way, you already know this, but so much of the world we live in today is phony or fake. Why is that? It's programming. It's because we're not living from our essence. We're not being authentic. We're not being authentic with each other.
We're trying to live a formula that is blanketed and doesn't apply to all of us.
By definition, a formula is a formula or a recipe.
Yes.
And those recipes aren't authentic to you.
They're not.
And if they're easier, they're quicker. You can implement a recipe or a formula much quicker.
Yes.
So, and I don't know why I did this when I was writing down the points we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
But how can we know that programming doesn't work and the ecosystem approach does work?
I love this question.
You know, and I know that people are wondering about that. I know a lot of people that are listening right now have seen, have listened to us enough we've gained credibility just by who we are and what we put in the world. And frankly, the way you really know is with your intuition. Because if you have enough intuition, it'll say to you, and at least those 20 employees, if you've been using the ecosystem approach, you have way more than 20 employees that are working in your best interest.
That is correct.
But you just kind of say, yeah, you'll get it like a little cha-chink.
Okay.
You know, that's how our intuition works all the time. Is like someone will say something and we'll say, oh, no, that's not right. Or, oh, yeah, that's right.
Sure.
You know, so it's been a misperception for a long time that if we only act or look like we're doing something, it's the same thing as doing it authentically.
Right.
And it's been part of religious dogma that if you only follow the rules, you'll be rewarded. You know, God will look down upon you in a positive way.
Okay.
It has encouraged people acting like they're being in alignment with a deeply held belief and convictions. And oh, by the way, when you act one way and you actually are not that way, that's the classic definition of hypocrisy. And there's so much hypocrisy in the world.
Right.
And I'm not just looking at Christianity or any other religion. It's not just Christianity, it's all the religions.
Yes.
And for belief systems and all sorts of things, there's so much we act this way, but we're really this way.
Correct.
And people are getting really fed up. They think, oh, I'm just going to tear it all down, and now that's the solution. But it's not the solution,
No.
because you tear it all down, those 80 employees that are within you.
Are
In other words, you can't tear it down outside of yourself.
No.
It has to start with inside of you first.
Yes. And the other part of that is that when you authentically, when you start using the ecosystem approach and you start to see the authentic part of who you are, then you get to choose. Nobody else gets to choose, meaning all the trainings and the rules and all those things. And it starts, I'm going to say, with one thing, and then just gets bigger and bigger and bigger in you understanding not only who you are, but what you're supposed to be doing here.
Yes.
And by the way, we all come in to these lives, into these human bodies. We all have a purpose. And I have had more people say, well, just tell me what my purpose is and I'll move on. It doesn't quite work that way.
It's a discovery process.
Yes, it is.
It's like
well said.
It's like going on the most authentic trip or journey that you've ever had.
That's correct.
And it's not for someone to tell you.
Yeah.
It's for you to uncover it, because for everybody else, it's not as interesting as it is for you.
Correct.
It's the most interesting journey for you personally.
Yes.
There's a logic to the ecosystem approach.
Yes. Oh, yes, there really is.
You start with your emotional story. In other words, all the things that have happened to you, especially the negative things, carry an energy.
Well, even the good things, because sometimes when we think good things have happened to us, when we start using the ecosystem approach, we also can see the lies and deceits around all of that.
Well, another way of saying that is that when good things happen to you, they don't stick, because those other 80 employees are saying, "Oh, you can't own that.
They're messing with you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The truth is, I know that I've had this insecurity that's connected to my being an Enneagram 6.
Yes.
All my life. And there's all these things that I did that were pretty impressive.
Yes.
During my life, but they never stuck. They never stuck to me.
Yeah.
Because when I went internally, there was just all this discussion about, oh, you're not really that good. You feel good right now, but that's not really you.
Right.
You're going to screw that up, coming up, or you can't. In other words, I couldn't sustain it, and that lack of being able to sustain it comes from those 80 employees.
That's correct.
That are just trying to work with you.
And those 80 employees are directly connected to programming.
Yes.
I want to make sure that we
programming and trauma
and exactly
and things that have happened to you, not only in this lifetime, but in previous lifetimes.
Yes.
That's why there's childhood cancer. People, babies don't come in pure.
No.
They don't come in without those negative energy.
Believe that they are, but
they're not.
And don't get me wrong,
it was nothing against. We don't have anything against babies or new life. It's just that this negative energy is still present.
Yeah.
If you've ever almost been crazy trying to comfort a baby that won't settle down,
stop crying. Yeah.
I guarantee you that's negative energy. If you could have refined intuition, you could do so much more with a crying baby.
Because you can see what that baby is crying about.
Yes.
And it might not be to a real detailed form, but you can still see that. By the way, I'm sorry, I have to interject this for just a moment. I have seen more than one person call Jason or myself and say, I can't get my son to stop crying. I can't get my my daughter to do her homework, things like that.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's negative energy, both of those. Those are just examples. And when we look and we see the negative energies, not only do those children calm down, but so does the mom. So does the dad.
Changes everything.
It really does, in a very positive way.
So I was trying to talk about the logic of the ecosystem approach. Let me get through that.
Well, that to me was logical.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Knowing your emotional story, removing the trauma from your past, observing the negative energy in your life and removing it. Then we use a tool called the Enneagram, and it has personality typing. Those personality types are emotional compulsions. Those are all negative energy. So even if you do something
amazing,
even if you have a positive if there's a part of your Enneagram type that you can use in a positive way,
Yes.
for example, if a 1 is a good accountant because they have attention to detail,
Right. Good for them.
that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, that compulsion is positive for you. All it means is that you need to, the attention to detail is fine. It's the compulsion to have attention to
There you
detail.
go. Exactly.
And that's what is negative energy.
Mhm.
So, and clearing and removing those compulsions is amazing. And then at the end, your natal chart, which from astrology, which is a framework for the authentic you.
Yes.
It's not made up. It's not all the details. It's up for you to find all the details, but that's where it comes from.
Yes. And the other thing is your desire to be more evolved or to be a better person, I'll say it that way. Start with the ecosystem approach, and you will see things, how you set yourself up with self-sabotage.
Yeah.
But the ecosystem approach helps you remove that self-sabotage,
Yes.
or that compulsion of
Yes.
self-sabotage. And all of a sudden you go, oh, this is so easy.
We are completely different people than when we started
Yes,
25 years ago. So
yes, exactly. So, Jason, let's do the summary and then let's talk about how to do the clearing.
Okay.
Okay.
The way you make the energy age work for you is to use an energy approach like the ecosystem approach to uncover the authentic energy you are, the authentic energy person you are, and keep going with that discovery.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of negative energy in the world now that is full of misdirection and illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Using energy is the way to overcome that misdirection if it's done properly. There is a natural aversion to removing negative energy because it has a consciousness and is motivated to continue to exist. All of our social ills that we're experiencing today are indicators of how programming, the common method of development, does not work. Yes. The ecosystem approach was designed to raise the personal vibration of individuals so they could better experience the age of Aquarius.
Yes. And by the way, I don't think there's hardly anything that feels better than to experience that higher vibration.
Yes.
It's
delicious. It feels wonderful.
Really, that's a great word. Yes. I like that. So, Jason, let's talk about how to do the clearing.
You don't have to have a particular posture. You don't have to be reverent. You can be walking, laying down, standing on your head. We always do two things at once. A lot of times we're clearing and doing something else.
That's correct.
But it just requires that you, when you get to the point of removal, and to eliminate,
yes,
in your mind's eye, imagine what you're supposed to eliminate: veils and illusions, barriers, negative emotions. Gather those up in your body, starting at the tips of your toes. Blow them into the processor. Moxie's putting the processor up on the picture, on the screen, and just blow it into the top. It gets processed, comes out neutral,
and by the way, enhances not only you but everything around you, including our world that is highly polluted today.
And the more specific you are in the clearing statements, and we'll give you examples of that in the next segment, we're going to do clearing.
Correct.
The more effective it is.
Exactly. And then after that, we're going to activate life force energy, and I'll explain that more in the next segment. So stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to help you to begin to truly evolve yourself so you can live more harmoniously in this new energy age. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach. Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to help you begin to truly evolve yourself so you can live a more harmoniously in this new energy age. Jason, ready?
Here we go. And all these words are written out for you. So if you would go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, sign up for our free section.
Correct.
All we ask for is your email address, and we don't spam you. We just send you a weekly newsletter that has all the clearings.
Correct.
With all the things written out, a picture of the processor, it's all there.
Correct.
So here we go. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see the best thing I can do during an eclipse is to observe myself, clear the negative feelings that come up, and use the intensity, clarity, and empowerment in the best way for my life at the moment.
Take a nice breath and then throw all that negative energy into the processor that Moxie has put up on the screen. And I'm going to continue on. I'm going to shorten it up just a little bit, and to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that acting like I'm evolved or working at a higher vibration is not the same as authentically doing it, especially using the ecosystem approach. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the stress, anxiety, and overwhelm in my life that is the result from negative energy attached to me that cannot be overcome by elevating my mind or thinking differently. It needs to be cleared.
Nice. Take a breath and blow out that negative energy, meaning stress, anxiety, and overwhelm.
By the way, yawning when you're moving negative energy, yawning is a natural byproduct. So it happens a lot. We do it all the time.
It does it, and it's amazing. So, and to eliminate, pardon me, the veils and illusions so I can see the best way to deal with the energy of an eclipse is to observe it and clear the negative and use the positive energy the best way for me. So nice and easy. Take a big breath. What is the positive? What is the negative? Clear any confusion about it right now.
And Jason, to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see the Age of Aquarius creates forward momentum, innovation, empowerment of the individual, and is essence centered. But I have to evolve to benefit from it. Take a breath.
Take a breath. And blow it out. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that insights and better perspectives do not create the energy of me and does not remove the negative energy attached to me. Take a nice breath. Those are veils and illusions you're getting rid of. In other words, we want the truth about ourselves, not some lie or deceit. Take a nice breath one more time and blow it out.
Jason? And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that programming is responsible for the social ills and the epidemic mental health issues in today's world. But experts continue to suggest those methods. You can do it differently.
Yes. Take a breath. And to eliminate the barrier so I can see that negative energy does have a motive and resists being removed. And that is why energy work is harder than just changing your thinking. Nice and easy. Take a breath and blow it out.
And to eliminate the barriers so I can see that in order to evolve, I must remove the negative. And there is no real change possible without removing the negative energy.
Yes, take a breath. Those are barriers. You're throwing them away. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that the ecosystem approach was designed to help people have a higher vibration and live in an evolved way. Nice and easy. Veils and illusions. And throw it away. Now, Jason, I'm going to activate some life force energy. Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Everyone, just follow along. It goes like this. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force energy, the most powerful energy that any of us has access to, and be able to use it in my highest and best interest, starting right now, so I can be happy and healthy, but also have the clarity, courage, and consciousness that I need and want. You're going to pull it in from the top of your head. Let it go to the tips of your toes. You're going to stop it there. You're going to ask it to turn around and bring back up any negative energy left over. And by the way, there's a lot of it, and blow it out. Jason?
And to activate life force so I can have hope to evolve and benefit from the higher vibration of the ecosystem approach.
Take a breath. Pull it in. And blow out any negative energy. And to activate life force so I can trust that I can overcome the resistance of negative energy so I can continue to remove it. Nice and easy. Pull it in. Oh, that just feels luscious, and blow out any negative energy left over. Jason.
And to activate life force so I can decide to focus on my personal evolution to live at a higher vibration.
Nice.
Starting now.
Take it in and blow it out. And last one, and to activate life force so I can be happy and healthy and be loving and caring and have, of course, laughter and fun, but also have the awareness to see what's standing in my way and know I can remove this negative energy easily, smoothly, and without resistance to make my life better so I can do what I came here to do starting right now. Pull that all in, happy and healthy, and enjoy life, have laughter and fun. Now blow out any negative energy left over. Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
This is going to be a fun one. Magical thinking. Now, we've all had magical thinking, fairy tale thinking from time to time.
Sure.
We're going to tell you how to make it work for you.
Okay.
We're not going to say, no, don't do that. We're going to say, we're going to tell you this is how you make it work for you.
Okay.
Whether it's wishing on a star, whatever, whether it's been when you were younger or not, we're going to show you how to do that.
5 minutes ago for me. Go ahead.
This is a biggie, and it's actually natural and instinctive for human beings. So
it is.
You've got to listen to this show. It's a really big deal.
I love that.
And if you're getting goosebumps, if you've been getting goosebumps while you've been listening to us today, it's time to make sure that you go and sign up right now for our free section, theecosystemapproach.org. Yes. If you want to live at a higher vibration, if you want to embrace the age of Aquarius.
Well, and if you want to be healthy.
Yes.
Healthy. In all of this, I need to say this, put it out there. In all of this, we all have trials and tribulations. You bet we do. But if you want to be healthier, if you want to give yourself that opportunity to be healthier and see the world from a different perspective, the ecosystem approach is your answer.
Exactly. And we want you to, we made it easy for you. Really, yes, it's simple. How do you live at a higher vibration? Well, you can start by just listening to our show every week. Yeah. We talk about how energy works so that you can use it in a more specific way. And every time we talk about energy from a different point of view. Yes, that's why we have this show, is so that we can educate people about how to use energy, because it's not known. Correct. People think about it once you start having this evolved consciousness, this higher vibration, right, you look around you and say, oh my gosh. Yeah. People are so not there. So not there. Yes. It needs to be better. So we've made it simple. Go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, sign up for a free section. All we ask for is your email address. And you get the weekly clearings and newsletter. Listen to our show every week. Do the clearings every week. Yes, because they're
clearings every day, actually.
Because they're cumulative. The more you clear, we clear, all during the day, every day. We wouldn't think of not doing that.
Yes, exactly.
And it's really made a huge difference in our life.
Correct.
And that's what we want for you. We've also have a Facebook page. Theecosystemapproach.org is the address. And if you go there, please like us. But that's where all our videos are. You can listen there. And I don't know where you're listening now, but we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts.
And I want to add one thing. Ask a friend or your partner to join you in this.
Yes.
There is nothing more amazing than for you and a friend and a partner or a partner to be part of this journey with you.
There's something really
pretty awesome,
really special about clearing together.
Right.
We do it every day, and it makes a big difference.
Exactly. So you talked about Facebook. Is that correct, Jason?
Yep.
All right, then I'm going to do this. We'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember, your ecosystem is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.